Welcome to Oryx Learning. Today's lesson is on Unit 2, Equations in One Variable, Lesson 5, Solve Multi-Step Equations. I want a jacket too. Talia and her soccer team ordered new team jackets. It costs $3 extra to have the team logo embroidered on front. 10 team members ordered jackets for a total of $200. Talia's little brother wants a jacket, but without the team logo. She has $20 and needs to know if she has enough money to buy her brother the jacket. So does she have enough money? If we let J equal the price of one jacket, then the price of the jacket plus the logo, the $3, would be J plus 3. And the cost of the 10 jackets with the logo for the team would be 10 times the quantity J plus 3. We know that the total was $200, so our equation becomes 10 times the quantity J plus 3 equals 200. In order to solve this, we'll revisit this problem at the end of the lesson. In order to solve multi-step equations, you need to simplify first before solving. In order to simplify, you can distribute if necessary and gather like terms on each side of the equation. When you're ready to solve, first gather the variable terms together. Second, isolate the variable term. Third, isolate the variable. Classifying the solutions. Whenever you solve an equation, we have three options, the first being the null set. The null set is also known as no solution. When you get a situation where something like 4 equals 0, that is a false statement. A false statement provides a no solution or null set. You can write it as either a 0 with a line through it or the empty set brackets. Our second option for solutions is something called the identity. The identity is also known as infinitely many solutions. This occurs when your answer gives you a true statement that is true for all real numbers, something like 5 equals 5, which is always true. Your answer that you'll write will be all real numbers. Our third option, and the most common option, is when there's one solution. When you get one solution, you'll get a variable equal to a number, like x equals 3. Classify the solution of 3x minus 2 plus x equals 4x plus 2. Before we solve, we first need to simplify. In order to simplify, we'll combine our like terms. 3x plus x is 4x, so we have 4x minus 2 equals 4x plus 2. In order to get the terms on the same side, the variable terms, we will subtract 4x from each side. Subtracting 4x from each side will leave us with negative 2 equals 2. We know that negative 2 does not equal 2. That is a false statement. So our answer is the null set, or the 0 with the slash through it, the null set. Classify the solution of 3 times the quantity x plus 2 plus x equals 4x plus 6. First, we have to simplify. In order to simplify, we can distribute the 3. So we can multiply the 3 by the x and the 2, leaving us with 3x plus 6 plus x equals 4x plus 6. Next, we can combine our like terms on the left side of the equation. 3x plus x will give us 4x, so 4x plus 6 equals 4x plus 6. Now we're ready to solve, so in order to solve, we need to get our variables on the same side, so we can subtract 4x from each side of the equation. If we subtract 4x from each side of the equation, that will leave us with 6 equals 6. 6 equals 6 is always true, so that will give us an answer of all real numbers, which is the identity. Simplify the equation 1/2 times the quantity x minus 8 plus 1/2 x equals 1/3 times the quantity x plus 12 minus 2. So for this one, in order to simplify, we first need to distribute. So the 1/2 will get distributed to the x and the negative 8, and the 1/3 will get distributed to the x and the 12. So now we have 1/2 x minus 1/2 times 8 plus 1/2 x equals 1/3 x plus 1/3 times 12 minus 2. We can simplify. So 1/2 of 8 is 4. 1/3 of 12 is also 4. So now I have 1/2 x minus 4 plus 1/2 x equals 1/3 x plus 4 minus 2. We can combine like terms. 1/2 plus 1/2 is 1, so we have 1x minus 4 on the left. 4 minus 2 is 2, so 1/3 x plus 2 on the right. Solve for the variable 3 times the quantity k minus 2 plus k equals 5 times the quantity k plus 3 minus 9. So again, we must first distribute the 3 to both the k and the negative 2, and the 5 to both the k and the 3. 3 times k is 3k. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. So we have 3k minus 6 plus k on the left. 5 times k is 5k, and 5 times 3 is 15. So our right side is 5k plus 15 minus 9. Now we can combine like terms on both the left and right sides. 3k plus k is 4k. 15 minus 9 is 6, leaving us with 4k minus 6 equals 5k plus 6. Now we're ready to solve, so we can gather our variable terms. I'm going to subtract 4k from both sides of the equation, leaving me with negative 6 equals 5k minus 4k, which is 1k, plus 6. Isolate the variable, so I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides of the equation. Negative 6 minus 6 is negative 12, so k equals negative 12. Solve for the variable 3/4 times the quantity 2h minus 8 plus 5 equals 1/2 times the quantity h plus 10. So once again, we first need to distribute the 3/4 to both the 2h and the negative 8, and the 1/2 to both the h and the 10. When we do that, we get 3/4 times 2h minus 3/4 times 8 plus 5 on the left side, and 1/2 times h and 1/2 times 10 on the right side. Simplifying, we get 3/4 times 2, which is 6/4, which reduces to 3 over 2. So 3 over 2h minus 6, 3/4 times 8 is 6, plus 5 equals 1/2 h plus half of 10, which is also 5. We can combine our like terms to get 3 over 2h minus 1 plus 1/2 h plus 5. Gather our variable terms. I'm going to subtract 1/2 h from both sides of the equation, leaving me with 2 over 2h, or just 1h, minus 1 equals 5. Now we need to isolate the variable. The inverse of subtraction is addition, so I'll add 1 to both sides of the equation, giving me my answer, h equals 6. All right, Aisha placed a bowl full of beads on the table. Before she could begin stringing them, she tipped the bowl and the beads rolled in several directions. Half of the beads fell on the floor, a fourth of them rolled under a chair, a fifth of them landed in her lap, and 4 were still in the bowl. How many beads does Aisha have? So let's let B equal the total number of beads. The whole is equal to the sum of its parts. Therefore, B should equal 1/2 B plus 1/4 B plus 1/5 B plus 4. If we combine our like terms, we need to find a common denominator. The common denominator between 2, 4, and 5 is 20. So we can change all of our values to a common denominator of 20, making it 20 over 20b equals 10 over 20b plus 5 over 20b plus 4 over 20b plus 4. 10 plus 5 plus 4 gives me 19. So now I have 20 over 20b equals 19 over 20b plus 4. In order to gather our variable terms, I'm going to subtract 19 over 20b from both sides of the equation. 20 over 20 minus 19 over 20 leaves me with 1 over 20. So 1 over 20b equals 4. The opposite, or the inverse, of multiplication is division, so I can divide by 1 over 20, or I can multiply by the reciprocal, or the multiplicative inverse, which is 20 over 1. So if I multiply both sides by 20, I will get b equals 80. So the total number of beads Aisha has is 80. Back to Talia. Did she have enough money for her brother's jacket from the start of this lesson? So if 10 times the quantity j plus 3 equals 200, we can first distribute the 10. So we get 10j plus 10 times 3, which is 30, equals 200. I can take the inverse of addition, which is subtraction, to subtract off 30 from each side, giving me 10j equals 170. And then I can divide both sides of the equation by 10, which leaves me with j equals 17. So j equals 17. So if a jacket costs $17 and Talia has $20, then she will be able to buy the jacket for her brother. She has enough money. So when dealing with multi-step equations, remember you need to simplify before solving. In order to simplify, you can distribute if necessary and gather like terms on each side of the equation. When solving, you first want to gather the variable terms together. Next, isolate the variable terms. And last, isolate the variable. And remember, when solving, there are 3 possible solutions. The null set, which is no solution, and we can write that as the 0 with a line through it, or the empty set brackets. The identity, which is infinitely many solutions, and we'll write it as all real numbers. Or one solution, x equals some number, in which case in this case they'll call a, so x equals a. That is our lesson for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.